I'm gonna show you something beautiful.
Hello YouTube, this is Steve Review Studios here, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review on the brand new Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron. So, directed by Joss Whedon, who I personally know for the Firefly television series, the follow-up to that Serenity, and of course the first Avengers movie, we have another amazingly written and directed piece of cinema. And I absolutely love this compared to the first one. It's so much better than the first Avengers.
I was designed to save the world.
So, beginning this review with a quick non-spoiler summary of the actual movie, Tony Stark becomes in possession of this Ultron program, and he thinks that this will be a global savior. He thinks that this will actually protect the world. However, things don't go to plan. Ultron develops a consciousness of his own, begins to question his moral self, and after analysing basically all the work done by the Avengers, he then concludes that the human race deserves to be wiped off the face of the earth, and that the metal should rise. So, you can tell already that a huge fight is between Ultron and the Avengers. Anyway, beginning with what I loved most about this movie was the actual introduction of so many brand new Marvel characters. And my personal favourite and most interesting that I found was Paul Bettany's portrayal of the Vision character. Now, Paul is known for portraying Jarvis, who has appeared in the Iron Man trilogy and, of course, both of the Avengers movies now. But seeing him on screen as an actual physical character, as a physical person, I found that even though his voice is Jarvis, he is such a unique character. He's so different. And I personally found that even though his character was so unique, it really did change the outcome of the movie for me, and I thought that was one of the main things in the movie that intrigued me, and one of the most spectacular events throughout the whole film. As well as that, we have James Spader, who portrayed Ultron, who voiced Ultron, and I thought the sarcasm in that character was just unbelievably perfect. It just suited that character so much, and James did an amazing job at voicing him. It was great to see Nick Fury, portrayed by Sam Jackson, of course. And now to the two characters that intrigue me just as much as Vision did, and that's Aaron Taylor-Johnson's portrayal of Quicksilver, and Elizabeth Olsen as Scarlet Witch. Now, Quicksilver, who I personally know from the X-Men Days of Future Past movie, I thought that the actor who portrayed him in Days of Future Past was so much better than the one who played him in the Avengers 2. I think the character was much better in the X-Men movies. But I did like Aaron Taylor-Johnson's performance as Quicksilver. I thought that character was very necessary for the movie, and I think the relationship between him and his sister, Scarlet Witch, was just something that really did bind the audience, and I think that was such an important piece of structure in this movie, and I'm glad that they did what they did with that. Plus, Quicksilver's powers, his super speed, I thought that was really well done, and I thought the effects of the blur sort of thing as he ran across the screen was absolutely terrific as well. And speaking of superpowers, I think the superpowers from Scarlet Witch, portrayed by Liz Olsen, of course, I really did think that that was one of the more unique characters based on superpowers alone. I thought the scenes where she was messing with each Avenger's mind was absolutely amazing, as she gave them all these frightening visions that were frightening to them, and played on their biggest fears simply by either reading their mind or presenting visions to them of what she read from them, what was their number one fear. And I thought that was one of the more successful sort of approaches towards this character and towards a villain in itself. So, more or less, I think the Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch were some of the most amazing new introduced characters to this movie.
In the back? Dick move, Banner.
As for the rest of the movie in general, I really did love every single sequence, especially the fight sequences which the choreography used to capture each individual hero fighting off their own enemies, and then the camera would pan and move across to the next hero and so on and so on. I thought that was one of the more well thought out scenes. And the most amazing fight sequence, of course, being the Hulkbuster versus the Hulk. And that in itself was one of the most captivating pieces of cinema I've seen in quite a while. And I loved how, even though from the Marvel clip that they released prior to the actual cinema release, it seemed quite like a serious fight, but towards the end it did get a little silly, and that was really humorous, and I found that absolutely hilarious. So, honestly, I really would recommend seeing this film. There are many one-liners through this, mostly from Ultron and many from the beginning of the film. And just, I love how when these characters come together in a movie, I just love how amazing it is to see them all together and how they work so well with one another. And I'm not talking about the fighting or just in general, it works. And I think that's what keeps the Avengers as a movie franchise going. I think that that's one of the best things about the Marvel franchise, that all the characters, even though they are individual and different and unique in so many ways, it just works when they're brought together, and that's one of the many things that I enjoy about these movies. So thank you for watching my review on the Marvel Avengers Age of Ultron. I would really recommend checking out this movie and going out and seeing it. It's one of the best movies of this year by far, and I really cannot wait for some of the upcoming Marvel films. So be sure to check out my upcoming reviews. Please subscribe for monthly collecting updates such as DVDs and Blu-rays, and I really hope you've enjoyed my movie review on the Avengers Age of Ultron. So please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my other reviews.